Well, I'm Tough Daddy, and I'm here to set the record straight because I'm tired of people after all these years saying that I'm not professionally trained. I first broke into the biz by, actually I found out about PTW. I was actually in school with a kid who said, hey, my brother runs a promotion with this other guy. That's when Billy Bully turned around and introduced me to Dave Oliveira. When I met Dave at that time, I had absolutely no training. Tough Daddy, the character, is just somebody who doesn't take shit from nobody. You know, you want to brawl, you know, you can bring the thumbtacks, you can bring the chairs, I don't care. You can bring what you want. I would compare my threshold of pain to be close to Mick Foley. My next step from there was meeting Rob Roberts. Rob Roberts saw my passion, believed in me, and he started to train me and teach me what I know today. Training with Rob Roberts was about $100 a week, and his trainings were tough. He taught me how to do like a level 1 bump, 2 bump, 3 bump, you know, how to do a flip bump. He taught me how to do the lock up, arm bars, everything that you would normally learn at any typical wrestling school. I got my first booking for ACW. I had called Dave Oliveira, the promoter at the time. You know that Rob Roberts has been working with me, he's been training me, and he set up a day so Rob Roberts and I would go down. He would have a talk with some of the bookers and stuff, and he'd let me know if I'd be back. And it was a few days after that he called me and said, Tough Daddy, I liked what you learned, good job, you can come back. My honest opinion about Extreme Satan is, I would say, I definitely would have to say he didn't belong in the ring. And if you look at any of my matches that may still be out there today, you could tell he had no flipping idea what he was doing. One of my last matches at the Durfee Mill with him, they had Casey Shooter come out, and I know the video is still out there, where he turned around and said, why don't you get your asses in the back? And I grabbed the mic and said, are you gonna make me? What kept me in that ring after he beat me up was, to be honestly, I don't know. I just think I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to show how tough I am. The fans like, obviously, when I get my ass whooped, so I'm just going to get my ass whooped. Well, I remember one time talking to Dave and saying, you know, when do you think I would ever be able to get a title shot? Memory on wrestling Scott Levesque, I would have to say, was I just remember him going out there, and I don't really remember too much of what happened, but I remember I said something, and he drop kicked me with the 2 chairs to the face, was because he was probably frustrated with me because of one, like I said, probably not listening, and probably because of what I said. And I don't blame the guy. And like I said, you know, if he's watching this, I apologize after all these years. I would have to say some of my favorite matches was the ones that I had with Monster Mac. My first memory of wrestling Monster Mac in the Tough Rules match was I would have to say was him sticking my head in the toilet and giving me a sweary, which unfortunately I'm still known for today. Well, I do remember in one of Monster Mac and I's matches, you know, I brought some thumbtacks and I was gonna do it. I wanted to do it. My father found out. He was there and he was kind of, you know, not okay with it. So I turned around and asked Monster Mac, you know, would you mind doing it? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. But I do remember, especially like, you know, somewhat being treated fair with, you know, some of the people that were doing the bookings back then. And then there were others that, you know, they just weren't fair. A lot of times I would show up and I'd be backstage, I'd be asked, why are you here? And I'd be like, because I'm booked. And they'd be like, oh yeah, that's right, we forgot, sorry, we gave your match to someone else. Or, oh no, you're not, but if you like, you can stay back here backstage, or you can just sit in the audience. And then a lot of times, you know, here I am sitting in the audience and I got a referee or maybe someone's manager or something coming up to me saying, oh, Tuff Daddy, they want you to do security. I wasn't gonna do it, I was gonna go home. And I remember Strider actually came up to me and said, Tuff Daddy, don't come home. He goes, and I'm like, no, I'm like, they're trying to embarrass me, you know, and he's like, look, if you go home, then they win, but if you stay, you win. Being able to step back in the ring during reunion wrestling was an honor. And did I ever think I would step back in the ring again with Monster Mac? Be honest with you, no. Have the fans, especially when Monster Mac and I were wrestling in our match, to chant out, holy shit, holy shit. It reminded me of how much I truly miss being in the ring and actually wrestling.
Goddamn! No one can beat me!
Getting my revenge after all these years, you know, with Scott Levesque, it was an honor to step back in the ring with him and to be able to, you know, beat him, pin him, 1, 2, 3. It was just truly an amazing feeling. It was like a feeling that you just don't ever want to end. You know, for someone to win something like this here, it's an honor and it's also a great privilege, and I hold this title proudly. You know, after all these years and coming back and being asked to be part of reunion wrestling and stuff and winning the championship, I would definitely have to say that it just shows what dedication and hard work does, whether you've taken time off or not. I would definitely say this is not the last that you've seen of this face here, Tuff Daddy.